So I want to take a moment to share with you guys something that has been on my mind for a while. And it's this idea that comics are powerful. They are extremely powerful, at least to me. And I'm curious whether you guys are going to agree with some of the ideas that I'm going to share over the course of this vlog. But when you hear people talk, they oftentimes say that foods, that sounds, that smells have the ability to transport them in time, to take them to a previous experience where they have, that sense of deja vu, or they have that fond memory based upon that song that they hear on the radio that they haven't heard in a long time. Maybe it was a girlfriend, maybe it was a party, maybe it was, some kind of festive event or something like that. Some people will taste foods and will be reminded of their mother or their grandmother or their aunt that made, this particular dish or treat. People will reminisce when they smell certain smells. It reminds me of my grandmother's perfume or my mother's perfume. My point is that foods, that sounds, smells, these are powerful things that are readily recognized for their power and their ability to transport you in time, to bring that smile to your face, and maybe even a tear. To be honest with you, maybe it is a tearful moment that is brought to mind when you are exposed to some of these things. But as I thought about these things, what I was really thinking about was that comics likewise are extremely powerful for transporting people, at least me. So things that come to my mind are, Marvel Comics presents Weapon X and Extinction Agenda. That was an Uncanny X-Men, and Phoenix from Atlas Comics. Those are just some of the books that have the ability to transport me back in time. I mean, literally right back to my childhood. It is actually impressive. And I don't know whether it is the visual of the cover, the turning of the page, the smell. I don't know what it is, but comics are super powerful. And when I think about what Marvel Comics presents Weapon X, for example, and Extinction Agenda for that matter, I remember going to the comic shop to pick up these books. I remember it. I remember rushing home and going to my bedroom, which was in the basement. My father built me an awesome bedroom in the basement, and I would lay on the bed on Kenosha Street in Oak Park, Michigan. I don't remember the address, but Kenosha Street in Oak Park, Michigan. I would lay on my bed in the basement, and I would read my comics. And I would read them cover to cover. I would read the ads. If there was a word in that comic, I read it. And I can remember laying on that bed, poring over those comics, and admittedly so, taking a couple of naps in a few of them, because I'm the guy that reads and gets sleepy. Especially after a long bike ride to the comic shop, right? I have fallen asleep in the middle of many a comic, or on a comic, or next to a comic. But I remember reading these books, and then I would immediately place them in cardboard and in plastic and drop them into, one of 3 long boxes that sat in the corner of my room. I took, I think, incredible care of my comics as a kid, because I spent my own money on many of those books, and I wanted to take care of them. They were my treasures. But comics were very powerful for allowing me to have these fond memories of my childhood. And no one's childhood is perfect, but I remember just nothing but good times when I think about comics. And, I had a few friends that collected as well, and we didn't discuss them to a great degree because, comics were nerd stuff, so we didn't want to be nerds. So I didn't talk to them about it a lot. But the comics instantly would transport me there. And when I think about Atlas Comics Phoenix, for example, I am transported to Roseville, Michigan. I've spoken about this in a couple of videos. So, but I am instantly, and you can hear it, I have a smile on my face just thinking about it. I am transported to my great grandmother's house. and the antique store on the corner where I would buy comics, specifically this Atlas comic. And I don't think about my great grandmother all that often. She passed away several years ago, and I don't think about her maybe as much as I should. But whenever I think about or see Atlas Comics Phoenix, and I've seen it and thought about it a lot lately, so this is really fresh on my mind, I am transported back to her house. And I have, my grandmother was a stern woman. She was a very stern woman, a wonderful, wonderful person, but she was stern. And I have, again, nothing but fond memories when I think about that comic and then think about her and the time that I spent with her in the summers. And comics are a powerful thing. They really are. And I don't think that they get as much credit as maybe they should for what they offer people. And if you guys remember, there was a bunch of that hubbub a couple of months ago with, the talk show host that had some bad things to say about comics and Stan Lee and all that kind of stuff. And it's unfortunate that those comments were made, because I can recount numerous times in which comics have actually helped me as a child going through tough things. And I can also recount numerous stories that you guys have actually shared with me. And it doesn't matter, about the guy or the gal that learned to read because of comics, that thinks about their father because their father used to buy them comics, or their grandmother or mother used to buy them comics in the grocery store if they were well behaved, or the guy that talked to me about how he remembers his brother because he and his brother used to read and trade comics all the time. Comics are powerful. They really are. And they don't get the credit that they do. I mean, of course, we all, give them credit, right? But larger society, I think, is just now starting to really embrace the power that comics offer. And it's more from the storytelling point of view right now, versus some of the things that I'm discussing. But, we can always hold out hope that things will continue to change, But I'm curious, as you guys listen to this, are there books, or is there a book that comes to mind that has the ability to instantly transport you back to your childhood? I'm curious what that book or those books might be. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments in the comment section, as I always do, because to me, that's part of the fun of this stuff, is that when you guys make these comments, we have an opportunity to mix it up and to have a little bit of back and forth. And I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts on this. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. That's my hope. And if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram and reggiecollects@gmail.com. Take care.